Well, welcome back to Bathroom Chats with Lauren. This is my safe place, okay? This is the place where I can actually stick you to the mirror and talk. Hi, how are you guys doing? Hey friends, I'm gonna put some makeup on, do all of that jazz, and we'll chat. So, last I checked in, I told you all I needed to shut up. And a lot of you understood where I was coming from and you were understanding, and I get that, and I'm thankful for that, honestly. A lot of you were like, yes, Lauren, I get it. Thank you. I have so much to tell you. I always say that, but I always do because I apparently only show up here a couple times a month, so I have to catch you up on everything that Instagram has already seen. If you're not following me on Instagram, make sure you go do that. It's just my name, @LaurenBrazy. If you don't have Instagram, that's okay too, I understand. I get it. Before we hop into this get ready with me, you already know what time it is. It's Helix time. I'd like to thank Helix for sponsoring today's video. If you've never heard me talk about Helix before, you have never watched any of my videos ever. So welcome, hi, happy to have you. How you doing? If you've never heard of Helix before, it is a mattress company that delivers mattresses straight to your door. You go online, you take their sleep quiz, and it will match you with the mattress that is best suited for your needs. When I went on and took our sleep quiz almost 4 years ago, I was matched with the Helix Plus mattress. That mattress is made specifically for plus size people. That was a huge selling point to me when Helix asked to work with me 4 years ago, and look where we are now. 4 years later, still love my bed. I have less shoulder pain, less back pain, less pain in general from sleeping on a bed that was made for my needs and made to hold all this jelly. One thing that I really love about Helix is that they have a 100-night sleep trial. You can sleep on your bed for 100 nights, and if you don't love it, you can send it back. Helix is also fiberglass free, which means when you are sleeping on your bed at night, you're not gonna get any of that nasty junk. That really does matter. As a new crunch, I can't stress to you enough how important it is that your mattress doesn't have a bunch of crap in it. Can I say crap? I hope so. It is really important that your mattress doesn't have a bunch of junk in it. We spend so much time in our beds, or at least you should, because sleep is important, to not have all of that nasty in it. Helix also offers financing options. We are all in the same economy right now. I understand. I know a mattress is a huge purchase. Helix also has the best sheets of all time. I will stand by that statement until my last breath. They have the best sheets. I've washed them faithfully every single Sunday for over a year, and they still look exactly the same, and they are white, which is crazy and shocking. No pilling of the fabric. If you're going to get a bed, or not, but if you do get a bed, get a pair of sheets. But if you're just gonna get something, get some sheets too. Honestly, get the sheets because the sheets are so good. Helix is running a deal right now, so if you go to helixsleep.com/LaurenBrazy and enter the promo code HelixPartner27, you will get 27% off of your mattress plus 2 free pillows. Thank you again, Helix, for sponsoring today's video. Okay, so now we can apply makeup and I can tell you I did something. Listen to me, I want you all to have a very open mind. And if you don't, that's okay too. I'm not trying to persuade you into doing anything. I just want to share my personal experience, and you may think it's crazy, and that's okay because you do you, I'm gonna do me. And I'm not saying that in a way of like, you do you, I'm gonna do me. It's not like that at all. I'm basically saying, I'm telling you my experience, and it's not like the best experience. Also, I just have to tell you about it because I tell you guys everything, and I did a 4-part series yesterday on my Instagram stories about this. I don't know if this is the one I use. Is this the one I use? That's not the one I use. That's too dark. You guys know I've talked several times here on my channel about how I stopped taking my SSRI. I did not like the way I was feeling on it anymore. I didn't feel like I necessarily needed it anymore. I've evolved. I've been through so much therapy, and I always look crazy as I'm doing this, and it never gets old. I just felt very disconnected from myself. I didn't feel like extreme joy anymore or excitement. I was just kind of existing. And what I needed in the time of my life when I was really struggling was just to exist and not live in a constant state of anxiety and fear of passing away. Like, that was my number one fear. I know my anxiety that I've shared over the last 6 years here, a lot of you guys have resonated with and understood, and for some people it was a little too much, and that I understand too, because for me, I know when I watch someone and they're struggling, you can either relate and you're like, yes, 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 or you're like, oh, I need to take a step back because this is triggering me, or it's just making me uncomfortable. That I understand. So there's people on both sides of that who understand. I've just been very forthcoming with everything. I'm a yapper by nature. I talk too much and I share too much, and maybe this is oversharing, but I gotta share. I've talked about CBD obviously on this channel and microdosing, THC gummies legally. Obviously, I'm a legal queen. We love a legal situation. And I absolutely love CBD and what it's done for my gosh, are you okay? Did you sneeze? Bless you. That was the dog. I have talked about my love of CBD and how much it's helped me, and I haven't had an alcoholic beverage in 22 months. I'm almost coming up on 2 years completely alcohol free, and I love that for myself. I've never felt better. I have always said, like, if you can even try to put alcohol down for 30 days, I don't judge either way, honestly. If you want to have a drink, I don't care. I honestly don't care. I don't judge you. I would never, ever, ever judge you for it. I don't care. I mean, honestly, if it's affecting your life and your health, I care because I want the best for you. But when I say to stop drinking for 30 days, I just want to see how you feel, because I swear to you, the first couple weeks, you're like, what do I do with my hands? I'm at a party, I'm with my friends, I'm at whatever you do or wherever you partake in alcohol, it can be an adjustment period when everybody else around you is doing it and you're not. But if you can just take that 30 days to and see how you feel, I swear to you, I have not met a single person who hasn't felt better. That is my hill that I not die on, but I lost my uncle to alcoholism. My mom's brother passed away from alcoholism. He died because he was an alcoholic. That was his cause of death. And that went from, just having some drinks to becoming a full-blown alcoholic in the span of a few years. It can happen that easy. It absolutely destroys lives. And I've seen it firsthand. He left behind a daughter and a grandchild, and it's devastating. And it was devastating, and it's a hard loss, and it's really hard to deal with because it's an addiction. And so that's why I'm so passionate about trying to persuade people to maybe just put it down for a little bit and see how they feel. Now I'm going to get into, I've been talking about on my Instagram, I have been reading and studying a lot about microdosing magic mushrooms. Let's all have an open mind here. Obviously, I'm not gonna just pick some from the wild and eat them. I'm not an animal. I'm also not 16, you know what I mean? I'm not doing all of that, but I've read so many PubMed studies. I'm talking actually studied. You can Google it if you want to. You can Google how microdosing affects the brain, microdosing mushrooms affects the brain. Obviously, I never, ever, 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 I have no desire to be on a hallucinogen and see things and have some wild experience. I say all of that to say this. I purchased some microdosing mushrooms from a very reputable brand online. I have girlfriends of mine who love them and swear by them, that they've helped with depression, anxiety, their ADHD, their overall just general mood. It has been proven to rewire your brain. If you guys are interested at all in any of that kind of stuff, I will leave some studies down below if you want to check it out. Or if you are familiar with yourself, please leave some comments down below. Don't leave me out here by myself, because I know I'm going to get some judgment. But I also know that there's a lot of people who use plants for medicine, and that is all I'm talking about. I'm going to share my experience and hopefully encourage you to be mindful of what you do and how you do it and where you do it at. But I did purchase some microdosed mushroom caps. I didn't, not caps as a mushroom, but actual capsules. Very microdose, very, very, very microdose. And this brand is all organic and clean, and it was really, really highly recommended to me. So I purchased some. And the reason I did that is because I have been struggling. I told you guys the last video I made, I have been quiet. That's because my anxiety was creeping in, not my health anxiety. That's actually, I don't want to say gone, knock on wood. But that part of my life is not as relevant. I don't worry that I'm going to just drop dead because I'm taking care of myself. I'm not smoking, I'm not drinking, I exercise regularly, I drink water. I take my vitamins, I go to the doctor, I get regular checkups, I take care of my mouth, I take care of my teeth, I take care of my body. And that honestly has been the most settling thing for my health anxiety. And I feel so thankful and grateful that I'm not in that phase of life anymore, because when I was at my heaviest and I was smoking cigarettes and drinking a few days a week, I knew I wasn't healthy, and it just always scared me because I knew I could do better and I wasn't. So I purchased these and I waited until the kids went to bed because I'm never going to try something new with them around me. And I am so thankful I am so thankful I put those children to bed, because let me just tell you right now, I took 2 of the capsules. That when they say dose, you dose so slow. I cannot tell you this enough, because I've used CBD and cannabis so much in my life. I was expecting it to feel similar to cannabis, but I really wanted the effects of like it rewiring my brain and kind of waking me back up, because I was just feeling super cloudy, and like with the state of the world and everything that's gone on, it's been really heavy for me and overwhelming, and getting the kids settled and getting them back in school and I'm overwhelmed, and I was sinking into a feeling of just overwhelm and cloudiness, and I just wanted to wake up and sparks my brain up a little bit. And I've only seen good things. So I took 2 capsules when the kids went to bed, and they kicked in about 45 minutes later. When I got these capsules, it came with a sample size chocolate bar. This is where the story gets good. So with the sample size chocolate bar, I took the 2 capsules, and I was like, I don't feel anything. Like I felt nothing. It was like 45 minutes, and I didn't feel like the effects of what it was supposed to do, is like, which is relax and joy and that spark of energy, I guess, that I was looking for. So I was like, oh, I'll just take a little bite of this chocolate. It was 2 squares, and I took 1 square. I literally had no idea that this chocolate square had the same amount of the mushrooms in it that was in the capsules. So when I took the chocolate square, the capsules kicked in about 15 minutes after that, and I was like, oh, this is great. Like I had a burst of energy. I was cleaning the house. The TV was on in the background. Blippi was still on from whenever it was watching it when he was in bed. I was like dancing, I'm cleaning. I felt so good. I felt very uplifted and motivated and happy. And then I sat down with a glass of water, and I was like, oh, this is great. I'm going to start writing in my journal. I'm going to start journaling everything and do like my night routine. And then the mushroom chocolate kicked in. And let me tell you, you listen to me right now. Don't ever start fast or high or anything, or think that like you're just, even if you think you're not feeling anything, just don't do what I did. Because when that chocolate kicked in, I went from microdosing to macrodosing really quick. And I have never in my entire life felt how I felt. I wasn't hallucinating or anything. Like I didn't see anything. I was still in my brain, but it was what it did to my body that was like, it totally freaked me out. I did not like it. Blippi was on. And Blippi, if you're not a mom or a parent and you've never watched Blippi before, Blippi on his own is a lot. And so when Blippi came on and his big old eyes popped up on the screen, I was like, it was jarring. I'm like, oh, I don't like this. I immediately was like, I don't like this. My stomach felt like it was doing the wave. Like I felt every organ in my body just floating, and I can't explain. It sounds crazy because I was not intending for this to happen. But like I immediately was like, holy shit, I don't like this feeling. Like I do not like this at all. It gave me raging anxiety because I took too much. I was not trying to take too much. I have no desire to ever take that much, literally ever. So Blippi came on, the colors were really bright. Everything was really colorful, and he was very overwhelming to me. And then my body felt literally like light as a feather. I've never experienced my body feeling like that before. It was, y'all, it was a time. It was a time. If you have ever microdosed or taken magic mushrooms, I'm interested to hear your experience. I've heard so many experiences over on Instagram. I'm so glad it's being well received. That's the thing I love the most, is that people are opening their minds more now. I know that a lot of generations grew up in a time where cannabis and mushrooms were like, oh my gosh, you're the worst. I can't believe that. God literally put plants on the earth, on the planet, to have medicinal purposes to heal people so that we didn't have to reach for pharmaceuticals every 5 minutes. We were not meant to ingest all of these chemicals. We weren't. If you need them and they work for you, that's amazing. That's fantastic. I'm so thankful for Western medicine. It saved millions and billions of lives. I'm not an idiot. I know that. But for those who are looking for a more natural route, the mushrooms just seemed so fantastic for a little wake me up mental health situation. And I hated it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I hated every single second of it. I did not sleep at all. Like I tried, but I couldn't sleep. I'm an idiot that I took them that late, but I was not gonna do it with the kids around. So I took them too late and I was up all night. But when I finally went to sleep and I woke up the next day, I'm getting the kids ready for school. It was so, like, it was worn off. I mean, it was very brief because it's not, like, I'm not doing crazy stuff. You know what I mean? I say macrodose lightly, but a macrodose comparatively to what I was intending the use for. But for others, it may not have affected them the same way it affected me. But so when I woke up and I'm packing lunches, all of a sudden, it felt like a light switch went on in my brain. I went from that cloudy, exhausted, I was constantly exhausted. I mean, actually chronic fatigue, just from the overstimulation of the world. And on top of that, I have to be a parent and, you know, I have to work and I have all of these things. We have bills, we have a dog who's aging, she's getting old. I hate even thinking about it, but like I have all of these things. I'm in my 30s now. I was like a bit of an existential crisis. I'm like, holy crap, like I just was starting to feel overwhelmed and overstimulated. So when I woke up and I was packing their lunches, I just had a smile on my face and I was like, everything I feel like still, and I haven't used them since. I have not touched them since. I don't know if I'm going to ever again. I might, I don't know, because I'm going to take like one capsule if I ever do it again, because you can function on that and it's like normal. But I just felt and still feel like my brain had a hard factory reset. I feel like my whole brain was like a phone that you turned off and you turned it back on and it's like working again. That's how I feel. And that's why I wanted to share it. I'm not sharing this to encourage you to do it, because I'm not encouraging you to do literally anything. I'm sharing because I want to hear others' experiences, because I know I'm not the only one, just based off of all of the conversations I've had with you guys on my Instagram. People you would never ever even dream of using mushrooms. I mean, CEOs of major corporations are incorporating microdosing into their health and wellness routines. People like teachers, I'm not kidding, teachers, doctors, there are people out there using these as medicine. And it was honestly not my favorite experience at all. But I feel like it really did something to my brain. I feel more present. I feel more energized. I just feel overall significantly better. And I really want to hear your feedback if you've ever done it. Obviously, it is not the same as, like I said, going into a field and picking the mushrooms and eating them, or whatever you did with them back in the day. I'm not sure how that went down. It is very different from that. So I just want to preface all of that by saying, like, this was a very regulated experience, organic experience, legal experience, but it also was actually wild and mind-blowing, and I hated every single second of it while I was in the thick of it. But when I woke up the next day and for the days after, I still feel fantastic. So I really feel like it benefited me, even though I hated it. I hated it. And I just realized I haven't put any makeup on as I was telling you that story, because I just wanted to share where I'm at. I am willing to do almost not anything, because that's very broad. But in order to keep myself healthy and safe, and my main goal in life is to heal, because when you don't, you hurt people, and that is just the way that it works. And I've seen it, and I never want to ever put my hurt onto my children or have them carry that burden of their mommy not being the best version of herself because she didn't take the time to heal from things, you know? So if I can do that naturally, I'm going to, and if I can do that in my most present state, I'm going to do that, and that's where I'm at, and I literally have never felt better. I feel so good. I don't plan on doing it again though, but I just had to share that experience because, oh, I also need to share this. It tore my stomach up, y'all. It tore my stomach up. When it kicked in, I was like, I'm gonna be honest, and this is a TMI, everybody poops. There's a book about it for kids, everybody poops. But I had to poop. I pooped a billion times, it feels like. I didn't throw up or anything, I didn't feel nauseous, but like I have a sensitive tummy, and my tummy was like, girl, what are you doing? Whoo. So it tore my tummy up because it was all my organs were doing the wave. So you imagine what that did. It got me moving and grooving, baby, and it worked. I went to a pedicure yesterday with my mom, and we go to a local spa here. We love it. We do it once a month together, and it's one of our things. And my mom bought me a pair of mushroom earrings in the lobby. They had some really cute earrings in there, and she was like, these are for you. Because obviously I'm gonna tell my mom. That's what I love about my mother. She is the least judgmental person on the planet. She supports me in everything I do as long as it's safe and healthy and good for me. And she was amazed at like how different I was. I've been carrying a little bit of a heavy load the last couple of months, just detoxing off SSRIs and finding out who I am without relying on medications to get me through life. And and also deal with my PMDD without medication has been heavy. I'm 4 days away from my cycle. I don't feel like I'm getting my period at all, which is so nice, because if you have premenstrual dysphoric disorder, it's so much worse than PMS. It can bring on some really dark thoughts. It's a hormone shift and it messes with your brain. A lot of women actually struggle with it. And I'm not having any of those symptoms right now. And she could just tell how much better I felt. But she also knew my experience, and I told her all about it. And I was like, you can never do these. You will never like them. You hate them. You hate them, hate them, hate them. But I honestly think the way that I feel now, she's like, I'm telling you this because if you ever decide to go that route, or if it's been interesting to you, please, for the love of God, unless you're trying to go on a trip, I'm not. But if you are, cool for you, be safe, do it safely, do it at home, do it with people you're comfortable with and safe, not around your kids, like just chill, you know? But if you are looking into microdosing, just go so slow. I'm talking about start from the bottom, okay? Like don't overdo it because you don't want this to happen to you. Trust me. I was fine. It wore off in a few hours. Other than I couldn't sleep because my brain was just making all of these thoughts. I swear I was praying. I was praying like I do every night to God. And I swear, this sounds crazy, but I swear I could hear him speaking to me. Obviously that was the mushrooms talking, I'm pretty sure. But he was just like, you're good, girl. Like you are doing it. You are fine. You are safe. You are loved. And it was so comforting and so nice. And now I've had a few nights of sleep and recovered from that one night of sleep off because I just don't do well with no sleep. And I'm honestly feeling the best I've ever felt, or the best I've felt in a really long time. Healing is not linear. It's okay to struggle. It's okay to not feel your best all the time and to just sometimes get through the days. And I hope that you find some light at the end of the tunnel. If you guys have any questions or your experience, I'm really interested to hear your experiences. Please leave them down below. I really, really, really want to hear it. And if you're not into it, that's okay. Like, it's okay. I understand. I truly understand. You don't have to like justify why you're not into it. You can just not be into that, and it's okay. I personally will always try and go the path of plants for medicine. I think God is perfect and he made everything the way it was supposed to be made. And there's a reason why plants are here for us. They're here for us to use, to consume, to heal, and I feel really good. So I hope you guys are doing really well. Like I always say at the end of my videos, I always intend on making more, but this month was a doozy, and so was last month. The whole summer, honestly, I was just massively overstimulated. Both of my kids were home all of the time. Everett was home from April to August, and he takes all my attention and all of my energy because I pour everything I have into those kids. So now that I'm able to kind of pour back into myself a little more, that's what mom's been doing. And I hope you have the time, or you're taking the time to pour into yourself and to heal yourself and to make yourself happy, because at the end of the day, that is all that matters. I love you all very much. I hope you have an amazing day, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.